Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Trek, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of the original series, The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, or Enterprise. Today I'm looking at Mud, from the original series' second season, or as I like to call it, that time I was almost annoyed to death. This episode was requested by Fred Klein and Andrew Blanchard. Thank you for the suggestion, and oh no, not Harry Mudd again. Let's get going. We begin the episode with Norman here being judged by McCoy, who says he's weird, but Spock defends him, and after McCoy accidentally insults him, we get some good old Spock sass. Norman chops some guy in the neck and starts fiddling with stuff, including trying to turn a fixed light, which alerts Sulu, so Kirk sends security to sort it out. Security get to the control room to find the guy out cold and can't get the console to respond, and there are problems on the bridge which stem from engineering when Norman beats everyone up and Scotty is able to get a vague warning out to Kirk. The ship goes faster as Norman grabs Kirk, and why does he sound like a robot?
I have connected the matter-antimatter pods to the main navigational bank.
And he warns that any attempt to stop him will destroy the ship. Oh wait, this guy is a robot! And into the credits we go. Wow, that was a long intro. Norman says they're going to stay on this course for 4 days, and I guess it's nap time now? Oh sure, Spock, try and mind meld with him, that'll help. 4 days later and this guy is still asleep. Come on, someone would have drawn a dick on his face by now. And they arrive at their destination. Norman wakes up and says all main characters need to sod off down to the planet, but he does say please. So down they go, and oh joy, it's Harry goddamn Mudd again. Can I go to sleep for 4 days? Kirk wants his ship released, Mudd says no, and his accent has wandered even further into a blender.
And you're all going to be here, quite probably, for the rest of your lives.
I'm already annoyed by this episode as Mudd rattles on and on. But fun fact, these costumes back here were reused for Beale and Lokai in the episode Let That Be Your Last Battlefield. Harry yada yadas how he got from the end of the last episode to here. Please, can I go now? This is painful. But no, he keeps going on, and I swear he's telling the story of his escape in real time. He says he ended up here, where these androids are keeping him prisoner to study, so he brought them here to replace him so he can leave, but not before he shows them his android wife Stella, who is possibly more annoying than him. Norman shows the group to their quarters, but Kirk must be as annoyed as me because he tells them to go away.
Why should we leave you?
Because we don't like you. No.
They all agree they're in deep shit, with Spock adding that the androids must be controlled by something, and they all split up to look for clues. Spock finds what he's looking for right away, just by asking, while Mudd shows off different women to Kirk and Uhura, who is especially interested in getting an android body of her very own. Later, McCoy admits he's interested in the lab they've got, and Scotty is chucked in, having lost the battle aboard Enterprise, and being the last crew member beamed down. So Kirk flips his shit, and please finish him off so I can knock off early. Chekhov is having a whale of a time. Scotty is in love with the engineering tech, and Uhura has been promised immortality, so Kirk yells at them all before asking one of the androids for his ship back. The android gets confused and rushes off, and Harry goes to leave the planet, but the androids won't let him for reasons, and one of them pushes him, which is what he deserves.
We cannot allow any race as greedy and corruptible as yours to have free run of the galaxy.
The androids intend to take over the galaxy and keep humans in check by giving them everything they want, and no. As someone who works with children, let me tell you, that's the way to get infinite amount of problems. Kirk is bored of the ship now, and Spock says they need to hurry because the androids are nearly finished setting up the ship so they can take over the galaxy.
How do you know so much?
I asked them.
Oh.
Harry has a go at them. Dude, this is all your fault. And Spock notes that while there are countless copies of all the different types of androids, there is only one Norman, which could mean he's the one running and controlling everything. So Kirk thinks they should act illogically towards him, but Mudd doesn't understand and rants off on one again, so McCoy sedates him. Kirk asks one of the androids for stuff from the Enterprise, so she goes with him to see what's going on, and falls for their plan, except then Uhura blabs that they're lying in exchange for an android body that will make her immortal, so that's a bust.
Uhura. Beautiful!
Yes, she is. You can put her down now. Kirk invites two of the androids to watch a little show that the others put on to celebrate their captivity, asks them if they're enjoying the music, to which there is none, and then Uhura bitch slaps Chekhov, who then starts jumping around when Kirk tells him to stand still, and the two androids break from confusion. Spock, meanwhile, is taking a different approach, and after nerve pinching them fails, he breaks out his patented Spock sass.
I love you. However, I hate you.
Oh great, Harry is awake again, and they go to enact their master plan, which involves him rambling on and on at Norman, while McCoy and Scotty talk like robots. So Norman turns to Spock for help. Spock helps by talking nonsense, and then Scotty begs for death, so they shoot him with their fingers, before Spock pulls out an invisible explosive which he throws to Harry, which he gulps away, and that breaks the girls. Norman is struggling, so Kirk says everything Harry says is a lie, while Harry says he's lying, which would mean he'd be telling the truth. So Norman breaks from the paradox. The crew get ready to leave, and Kirk tells Mudd that he's annoying, so he'll have to stay behind, and unleashes an army of nagging wife robots at him. Bye then! Oh god, I hated this. This is the worst episode I've had to sit through for this channel so far. Harry Mudd in Mudd's Women was barely tolerable, but here he seems drunk the whole time, his accent is wildly inconsistent, and he spends most of the runtime rambling on and on about absolute bullshit. It was painful to sit through, and that's all I'll say. On the other hand, the episode itself was fine. If they had switched Harry out with a different character or removed him entirely, it would have worked much better in my opinion. The best part of this episode was the last 15 minutes where the crew were confusing the androids, because it was nice silly fun that all the characters got to join in with, and it clearly inspired Fry and Leela's actions when they were going up against Robot Santa in Futurama. A point that would have been interesting to explore but wouldn't have worked with the episode's goofy tone was Uhura's desire to have her brain put into an android body to become immortal. It's quite a heavy topic, and immortality is about being remembered. So my queen, you are immortal. So there you have it. That was I, Mudd. If there's an episode of Star Trek you'd like me to cover, pop it down in the comments below or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want to be assimilated into my channel. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and live long and prosper.